What's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, is Nestlemania alongside for the right is a man that always Netflixes and chills, JC.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of that, huh? Little flicks and chicks, so not so much because it's wrestling, but yeah, the
As long as
Monday Night Raw is headed to streaming, and it is Netflix of all places.
I was absolutely shocked. We got a lot to talk about. This is a monumental day in professional wrestling history. We will remember this day because I was fucking pissed at 7 a.m. I threw my fucking phone because I was so angry.
How was that different from any other day?
What?
How was that different from any other day?
Well, I woke up early. My kids woke me up at way too fucking early. And then that puts me in. I mean, you want to talk about a cranky monster. I am a crankpot. And then that news hits and I just threw my phone, not thinking anything about it. So it's a huge day. The Rock, big deal too. We're doing everything, folks. We're doing everything here. And then, of course, we got the Royal Rumble on Saturday, which is always the best way to kick off WrestleMania season. One of our favorite things of the year. So there's a lot to talk about, JC. I think we should just get right into it.
Yeah, we're going to get to our 30 hopes. We're going to get to the regular part of the show. But yeah, I think we do have to talk about this goddamn Netflix deal because this was a shock. You could have told me a bunch of different options. I wouldn't have thought that it would have went here, but it's a shit ton of money. And it's going to be interesting because obviously, like when you're on a streaming service like this, it just completely changes the way it goes. But for Netflix, like we've seen it with a lot of these other streaming services trying to get more live events, live type things they can put on. So this being the first one besides Peacock to dive into the wrestling realm is certainly very interesting, especially a weekly show.
It is amazing to me when I saw Netflix. It was, again, something I did not expect. Just like you said, I was hoping for Prime. I was hoping for something. See, here's the conundrum for me, right? And again, let me first say this to preface this. I am very excited for WWE. It's a great business move. It's going to be a global fucking expansion. They're going to get so many more eyeballs on the product for Raw. It's going to be wonderful. What I fucking hate is that we live in the United States and fucking anywhere else gets fucking Raw, SmackDown, NXT, the PLEs, and the library for one low price instead of this fucking schmuck who has to fucking do, I don't know, Peacock and no ads because I'm an asshole. Then I've got to do fucking, YouTube TV to do everything else wrestling related because I have to pay for $70 for cable or whatever the fuck it is. And then on top of that, now I'm going to have to fucking do Netflix and probably have to do the ad tier because I can't afford shit. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, I can barely eat. I can barely put groceries on my table for my family. And now I'm going to be fucking eating fucking tuna fish for the rest of my life so I can goddamn watch Monday Night Raw.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of the opposite end because I'm already paying way too much for Netflix. I don't even use it that much. Usually it's one of those things I come in, I'll watch like 3 shows in a row and then boom, I don't use it for months. But my parents use they use all my accounts. My sister uses a lot of my accounts. So they're on Netflix all the time, which is why I don't cancel it. Now with their freaking bullshit password sharing stuff, like I got like the expanded account with all this shit. It's just, I'm looking at charging me like $25 a month. So you know what? Put all the wrestling on there because I'm already paying for it anyways.
So here's the thing. If I will shut the fuck up if when the Peacock rights in 26 are not renewed and they go over to Netflix, then I'll be a fucking happy camper. I will because I think
SmackDown's still in the NBC family, so I'm not so sure.
I think personally, I think this is a slap in the face to USA and NBC. Personally, I would think that they look at it like we've had Monday Night Raw basically almost all of our relationship with a couple of years. I think the 3 to 5 years that TNN had it, but other than that, it was Monday Night Raw has been on the USA Network. So it's interesting to me that they're like, oh, you can have SmackDown, which again,
they chose SmackDown though first, which at the time, that's why I was so surprised. I was like, why are they going for the SmackDown contract when they already have? It was very weird at the time. But the one thing I don't think we've talked about, I don't know, I haven't read too much more into it, but it just like obviously now because that takes Raw off USA Network, and now it's just we're waiting on the NXT shoe to drop as well. So
we don't know the date of NXT, right? I don't think that's
yeah, I don't
been
know.
given. So the one thing that did pipe up, again, I've watched a lot of Nick Khan today. I've watched the Rock interviews. I've studied a lot of things. Looked at Brandon Thurston WrestleNomics on Twitter to get kind of an education on this entire thing because some of this shit is just way above my head, obviously. But I will say this much: the one thing that really upset me was that if it seems like from what Nick Khan said on Pat McAfee, he said October 1, which is a Tuesday, which means SmackDown will officially, hopefully be on, well, I'm not saying officially, but it could be on Tuesday, which bothers me. And in so many ways, we've talked about how this fucks up our programming. But Tuesday night SmackDown makes me think like less than to me on the USA Network. It was on Fox for 5 years.
It's going to be less than that's the like people are going to be pointing like, oh my God, the rate is so much worse. It's like, yeah, because it's not on a fucking free channel anymore. But the reason why I don't like it, I don't like Raw and SmackDown being back to back because they're too similar. It's main roster. Like I like that those are spread up. I don't mind that I got NXT and AEW right after Raw because they're different types of shows, different types of wrestling. One's really good, one you can fast forward the fuck out of. But the idea of having like Raw and SmackDown back to back and then Dynamite on Wednesday, I'm just like, I'm gonna be exhausted, man. Like, what the fuck? So, like, I am pro keeping it spaced out. SmackDown wants to go to Thursday. Not ideal, but fine. I like it on Friday because I just watch it late Friday night when I get home from work or Saturday over the weekend sometime. But I kind of like having the space. I don't know. That's kind of the biggest factor for me with Raw and SmackDown is I like the space between.
The space between. Sorry, Dave Matthews. Anyway, so other things that I want to talk about when it comes to this Raw deal, not Raw deal, but you know what I mean. Raw dog in it. Is basically there's a lot going on here in terms of like, well, what do we do with commercial breaks? And I think Nick Khan said they're just going to put people in rest holds for people who don't have ads. Like, that's incredible to me. It's like you won't miss any action. They're just going to put somebody in rest holds.
Well, I mean, think about it, we already miss matches through breaks. Most of the breaks now in wrestling are like it's during matches.
Suicide
so it's like,
dive, yeah.
If you're paying for that, because I'm not like that's the thing. If this went to Prime Nestle, they're already going to be adding ads, but that would change the way Amazon would give it to us for free as Prime member. It would be different because it's a bigger thing. It's just like anything else. But Netflix is probably, I mean, we've already seen them start to adjust with their fucking gouging and everything, but there's going to be ad tiers and it's going to be like you pay for a tier without it. You pay for a tier, just kind of like how Peacock is now. This is where streaming was always going. Soon enough, everyone's going to realize it's just cable all over again, except that you're paying 1,000 different companies instead of one. So it's just one of those things. It's like how the business works. Is always where it was heading. And unfortunately, we're getting to be there now. So our pockets are going to be a little bare if we want to see all this stuff.
The other thing that was very interesting to me was the idea of now that Raw's kind of like, okay, we're doing this from Netflix, right? And I thought about this, and again, this is just funny to me. Like, we've heard for years and years and years that, okay, WWE should deserve an Emmy because they've been doing so many things. Now that they're on a platform like Netflix, I'm wondering in my head, is there a way to leverage being on Netflix and somehow getting into a category for Emmys for the WWE? Because I think that's an interesting concept because they've never really won those things, but they are the top of the line, top of production people, and they tell the best stories a lot of the times.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. It would be interesting, but I don't know. I don't ever think that's really their goal.
No, of course not. But I just think that there's a lot of people out there that deserve the hard work because they don't get credits right after Raw. You don't see the credits like you do in a television show or a movie. So I feel like it would be really, really nice. But, you know, and then our boy over here, the Backcracker says, I wonder how Netflix is going to catalog all of the past WWE content. Well,
so
they won't have
not
content.
Really. Yeah, they're not going to have it. That's still all on Peacock. What Netflix is getting though is all these like documentary and type of things. Those productions are all going to be on Netflix, and obviously the catalogs of Raw. but everything else is still going to be Peacock for at least till, what'd you say, 2026?
26, yeah.
All the PLEs and all the old content, the library is still on Peacock, but Netflix will be getting like the movies and the specials and those types of things. Those are all going to be Netflix productions now. That's the change, but the catalog is still all Peacock. So you're gonna have to go to both, baby.
Another question I want to bring up here, and again, we don't have the answers. It's just more hypothetical for everybody in the chat, anybody that's listening or whatever, what you think, especially JC. Do you think we are now at a point where we don't need to have a 3-hour Raw?
It's interesting, but I think it's more likely that you have it now, because now especially that it's on Netflix, it's like you're not ever going to need to DVR Raw again because they're on demand all the time. It's going to release live, but it's still going to be there on demand all the time. So it's like the idea of it being shorter, this is more of a reason to be longer because suddenly you're on a streaming type thing. So if anything, like now they have the thing where they're not going to have the time constraints where they have to get off at exactly 3 hours. They could go a little more or even a little less if they wanted to, but I'm sure most weeks they won't. But I think that's not really going to be a factor at all.
Shut up, Daniel. Make it 4 hours. You fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
You fucking asshole.
If they made Raw 4 hours, A, that'd be brutal. And B, I'd have to just cut AEW out of my life. So something's got to get cut.
Nestle's tears make me even sleepier than the Miz talking. Nighty night. Well, you know what, Joe? I'm glad I can put your fucking old ass to bed. Get the fuck out of here.
Want me to get him to bed quicker? Drew McIntyre. Night, Joe. We know he loves Drew, so that usually is what gets him. But yeah, I mean, this is a big deal. What's
Jock saying, is this Attitude Era 2.0 coming? Because we are on the uptick. We are on the upswing here. This is the most profitable time in wrestling, apparently, as well as there's so many studs in the women's and the men's divisions. And it just seems like they're making money hand over fist here. There's so much that's a positive here. I don't know if they need to
bigger than the Attitude Era. It's like insulting to call what's going on right now the Attitude Era. They're in like a fucking renaissance. The amount of fucking money these motherfuckers are making, like that's what Nick Khan does. He like WWE is already very successful, but you bring in a guy like him, that guy just makes everyone goddamn rich. He made Vince so rich that Vince was willing to walk away and grow a mustache. For God's sakes, we never thought we'd see that day again, but we did because Nick Khan makes people rich. He's making this company so rich. And this is a company that was already succeeding on its own with the direction of everyone else. So that's just like what they are in right now. When we look back, it's like, oh my God, it's a boom. And you know what? There's no reason to think it isn't going to stay for a long time. The more like everything's so much more accessible nowadays too. Like the WWE here is going to be at the forefront of by getting on streaming where a lot of stuff is going anyways. They were willing with the WWE network. They were flag bearers for like the new age. So they're once again getting ahead of what sports like. Netflix is going to sign a deal with like the NBA and stuff next. Like that's what these streaming services are trying to do. They're trying to get big contracts, and wrestling is willing to jump out in front of like all those other sports who like will like kind of dabble in it. And obviously we've seen football with like Prime exclusives and Peacock's exclusives, but WWE is like, we're going to put our flagship show at a goddamn streaming service. A streaming service has never really done live sports. So let's go. Like they're willing to do it, man. And that's the risk they've always done. And that's why they're successful.
Our boy, the backcracker, say, no, I'm saying, will they get more rated R now that they can on cable? I would say, look, I would say this much. I don't think so, because I think if you go rated R, you alienate the product of children. And I think the WWE makes a shit ton of money off of children. So I think you could value doing it every once in a while, but I don't think they're going to deviate from their plan, because right now they're more successful with commercials, advertisements, sponsorship, as well as what they do with kids and merchandise, and kids bringing their parents. And then that's 4 tickets, 5 tickets. Then there's merchandise they fucking sell. Like their merchandise sales would go probably a little bit down. I don't think they're worried about hitting those demographics anymore. I think they realize that they're just a fucking business and they just want to have it boom, baby. That'd be my thought.
I think they'll take chances here and there with things, but yeah, I don't think they'll change the nature of their product because so much of their money is, like you said, from kids. So, but I do think there will be moments where like, oh man, they can get away with that now. So
yeah. And our boy Danny Grimwood said, will Netflix get UFC as well?
ESPN and UFC have a mega deal, so it wouldn't be anytime soon. And I think UFC wants to stick in the sports realm, and having ESPN on their name definitely helps them.
Does it make it more, not that it isn't a legitimate sport, it's very legitimate, but having the name ESPN behind you makes you even more legitimate, right?
I think for them in particular, it really helps. And I think, I mean, them being available with a lot of ESPN Plus, like if you're a sports fan, it's kind of a necessity because I mean, the main reason I have it is like UFC and golf, but most people have it for whether it's soccer or hockey or basketball or college sports, they're all over it. So just being available to people who already have that, I think is what they're going for more. Whereas wrestling is such a unique thing that it just being on Netflix, it gives them definitely more reach, especially worldwide too. So it's going to be interesting. Like you said, we didn't see this coming, but they're willing to get in front of the way the trends are going, and that's what we got here.
It does make me a little nervous. I mean, they have a year-ish to figure it out, but we've talked about this off air, and especially in the Jobber Knocker thread with friends and everything. Prime is fucking dog shit when it comes to live football. Like, it is awful. And I am sitting there thinking to myself, like, I hope to Christ that Netflix has their shit together. I mean, they are the leader in streaming.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride at first. It's like one of those things. Like anytime you change stuff, I mean, remember how much of a fucking shit show WWE Network was when it started? How much like Peacock had issues? Like they're gonna have to work out kinks, especially for Netflix, because this isn't really something they really ever do. But it's like anything else. Well, after about a month of people bitching, we'll all get used to it, and people will fucking stop caring, like always.
It is. Anything else you want to add about this?
No, we got so much shit to talk. I want to talk about the Rumble, baby. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Oh wait, we didn't even talk about our boy Dwayne, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna believe me. We're gonna get to Dwayne because that motherfucker might be cucking me, and I'm not gonna be a happy camper. Piece of
JC
shit.
does not like to be cucked, folks. He likes to do the cucking.
The Rock. You know what I'd do with that Rock? I'd fucking skip it into the ocean. He's fucking old. He's got glamour muscles. I don't want to watch that motherfucker wrestle. Not for a fucking title. Him and Roman want to do a little WrestleMania match next year. That's adorable. But I was talking to our boy Dom today, and he said it exactly. He hit right on the fucking nail on the head. The year to do the head of the table match for the championship between Roman Reigns and The Rock was fucking last year in Hollywood. The timing worked, but Rock wasn't willing to do it because he's a bitch, and Cody stepped up, and Cody became the man. So get the fuck out of his way, Rock. Get out of his way, Dwayne. You can have your little ownership. You can own your little United fucking Football League that I'm going to gamble on in the spring and the summer, but you motherfuckers stay out of my fucking main event at WrestleMania because, whoa, I deserve this.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Logan Paul took a shot at The Rock. Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, Logan Paul's the fucking man. Fuck you, Rock.
Do you know what he said?
You know what I'd rather see? Logan Paul and The Rock than I'd fucking see Rock and Roman. Come on.
No, I'd rather not see The Rock and Logan Paul, but that's beside the point. But look,
I kind of would.
Since we're talking,
Logan fucking out athletic him.
Well, anybody can out athletic The Rock nowadays. Jesus Christ.
Muscles.
So look. Since we're here, we might as well. We brought up the name. Let's just get it over with. The Rock got his name back, which to me is the thing that nobody's talking about. He's also part of the TKO board of directors, which is fantastic because he's kind of like in love with UFC with the bad motherfucker title. And then also, he's shown up a bunch and then he has the ties to WWE forever because he's The Rock. But God damn it. Like he's perfect for helping the global launch of things and being kind of like,
he's a good spokesman. He's a good face. He's a good, all that, those type of things. I love all that.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, bro.
Stay out of
Cody's ring.
Yeah. Stay out of the ring. Don't do fucking shit. Like you can do your fucking tap dancing routine, as I've said before. Fucking do your millions and millions and your, shut the fuck ups and the blue hells and the
pie. Come back and beat up Jinder every now and then. I'm all for that. Fine. I love a good rock pop. Show up in Colorado in prime country. I'm all good with that. Hell, next year, like I said, you want to have a non-title match with Roman Reigns? By all means. Just stay the fuck away from my goddamn story.
So I will say this much. I will say this much. I am not going to do what I normally do because you're going to get really upset and say it's a certain thing that I, do. So I'm not going to say the words.
Oh,
but
God.
When I was watching today, he had a couple of things to say about Roman and the matchup. And the one thing that I think is very telling when he said this, I think this is very important for the Cody fans out there, for anybody out there that is worried and their asshole is tightening up because The Rock is around. I will say this. He said these exact words. He said, I am the long play. I like the long story. I like it to be drawn out. I like it to be worried and thought and da-da-da. So he's not coming back right now for 2 months to do it. I legitimately think that Cody Rhodes will beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We are going to get it. And I saw somebody else tweet this. So it's not my original idea, but do I love this? Cody Rhodes fucking wins, gets his fucking pomp and circumstance, Fucking crowd goes nuts. He's celebrating. They let Cody go through the fucking entrance, have his fucking moment, whatever. And you just leave Roman Reigns in the ring sulking for like 2 minutes.
Can we have Cody in the background holding up the title?
Yep. But then, so you let Cody do his business. Cody leaves. You have a couple minutes of crickets and people fucking either, clapping or booing or whatever. Rock comes out then, doesn't say a fucking word, takes the red lays from Roman Reigns, puts it on himself, fucking rock bottoms and walks away. And you're like, okay. Then you go back to, fucking SmackDown and they'll do a whole fucking year. They will do a whole fucking year.
Because then Roman's taking 6 months off.
Yeah. They'll do a whole fucking year of fucking Rock lead up. They're going to do that. There's no fucking way that The Rock is going to want to just one and done it. The Rock is going to want to fucking do breadcrumbs along the fucking way. And I just think right now, nobody has to worry about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, to me, is going to fucking... He is gonna be the guy. He has to be the guy.
The more you say it, the more I get worried about it,
though. When he said that this morning, I kept thinking to myself, this guy thinks, here's the thing. This is gonna be me being fucking on Nestle Island, and that's okay. And I'm okay with this. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I think The Rock is fucking delusional. If he thinks, he fucking said, there's no disrespect to everybody in the locker room, but if it's me and Roman at WrestleMania with everybody else below us working their asses off, we have the opportunity to make the biggest and best WrestleMania of all time. And all I could think about was, what fucking earth do you live on? Because all I could think about was, this guy can't fucking wrestle anymore. He's just not a wrestler anymore. He's an entertainer through and through. The match is not going to be good. It's not going to deliver. The last time he had to wrestle a 20-minute match, he fucking tore his fucking groin muscle off his bone and had to fucking wobble, and poor Cena had to fucking carry him. You don't have that all the fucking time. So like, all I could think about was, there's no fucking way The Rock is going to do it. He's just not ready to do it. He's just not. I think Cody Rhodes is the guy. You let Cody Rhodes fucking win. You have a year of Cody Rhodes doing God knows what, and then you move on from it. But I will say right now, The Rock is not ready. The Rock will not do it. It will be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. The Rock will want to wait a whole fucking year, because if they said WrestleMania next year may potentially be in Miami, we'll see.
I hope he just didn't curse the fuck out of Cody. And yes, Danny, I am a member of the Nightmare family, so Cody is like my family. Love Cody. I probably wouldn't be watching wrestling anymore if Cody Rhodes didn't exist. He's one of the main reasons I've always stuck. Him and The Miz got me through the dark times of wrestling, and wrestling wasn't great. And I've always loved Cody, and I love him more and more every day because he's fucking perfect.
I'm just telling you right now that it's insulting that you say, oh, the jobber knocker is not a reason I watch wrestling, but that's okay.
I mean, well, that's why I have to watch. It's like a fucking requirement. It's a jobber knocker co-host requirement. Gotta watch all this shitty bullshit every week.
Listen, I don't watch Collision. I don't watch Rampage.
Collision's not good anymore, but it's still better than Dynamite.
Give me Stardust. Will you knock it? You are a troll behind you.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I'm all for Cody getting fucking 3 chances in this Rumble. So if he wants to come out as Mask Cody and then Stardust Cody, and then the fucking American Nightmare comes out later, fine with that. As long as he wins, we can do all the bullshit. But
if The Rock and Roman isn't happening at Perth, which we were told it's not. When I watched him on, was it on ESPN talking, all I could think about was, I could see the wheels turning when he was talking. He couldn't say it, but he wants WrestleMania on a fucking international platform is what he wants. He wants to be the guy to put the fucking flag in the stand and say, this is the first WrestleMania outside the United States, and I did it. I think that's where The Rock is going. He couldn't say it, but that I have no knowledge. But this is just a feeling I get. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns is happening night 2, and we're fucking woeing all over the goddamn green earth. I love it. I'm excited. I
hope so.
This made me feel so much better about WrestleMania. You have no idea today.
I hope so.
And he's The Rock. He can do whatever he wants now. He's literally The Rock. He got his fucking
he's been able to do whatever he wanted forever. Did you ever watch this show, Ballers? I imagine that's literally what he does in real life, trying to run businesses. Just walks around being the fucking Rock, being like, I'm bigger and stronger than you. I can do whatever the fuck I want. That's pretty much what that show was. He's like, I got money and I got power. Fuck you. I'm like, that's probably what The Rock does. Look, I love The Rock. I think The Rock's the man. Rock's cool, but stay the fuck out of Cody's way. That's not a warning. It's a promise. Promise, Rock. Get the fuck out of the Nightmare's way.
Like I said, he can't perform anymore. He cannot perform to what we expect. He just can't.
He can get you there though, and that's all that matters. He'll look good on the poster. He'll look good on the mic. He'll fucking be fucking doing all his bullshit. But fuck him. Back of the line, boy.
All right, let's move on.
Can we talk about Cody and Punk now? Because I like them both way
Let's
better.
get in the fucking
glorious shine, baby. Always in the shine, much like Mandy Rose, who that might not be the first time I say her name tonight. Spoiler alert. But yeah, on Nestlemania, Monday Night Raw, we finally had it. We had Cody Rhodes, CM Punk together in one ring. A lot of respect, but also a lot of, it's my story. No, it's my story. I was here first. And I was here first. Well, I'm you. Well, you're me. Oh my God. I love this. They're definitely like not perfect. Obviously I thought Cody was probably a little stronger in this, but I thought it was great. I love the way it mostly played out. I love like Punk saying he's more of the American dream. I love Cody like saying he walked it while Punk talked it, like all this stuff. Like this is what I wanted from this segment. And I know I was talking with our boy Dom earlier, who I know was in the chat. He wanted more of like that dickhead CM Punk. But what I kind of told him is I'm like, I don't think they're going to open that can of worms and make it super personal and make Punk super evil until they're actually feuding. Because right now it's like you're looking at like these are your two fucking money makers. Your mega money makers, the two favorites to win the Rumble, the two guys that like are likely going to be challenging for the fucking 2 world titles at WrestleMania. Two hottest things, two hot merch sellers, two guys that you're building what you're building right now around. So it's kind of cool that they're sizing up, but we know they're not feuding yet. Like on Saturday, it's like Punk said, on Saturday, not friends. When I wake up Sunday morning, I expect you to be my friend again. So I think that was the tone. So I understand Dom wanting more from it, but what I told him is like, when they actually feud someday, we'll get more of the nastiness and all of that stuff. But to me, that's why I thought this worked, because it set up what it was. And the Rumble was pretty much like, look it, I have my dream. You have yours. You're in my way. We got to figure it out. And, you know, it's those two guys together was exactly the magic that I've been waiting for. We've talked about the last couple weeks in this program. We love both of their teases with Drew McIntyre. Like when you set up, this is how you build a Rumble. You make it feel special because it's like, oh man, you're setting up the contenders. And then obviously the Gunther segment with Seth. I love that too, because in my mind, and I've said it all year, I said after Cody won last year, I think the plan was for Gunther to win this year. Now that may have changed with CM Punk coming back, because I really think it was going to be Gunther and Seth, or Gunther and Cody. It was what I thought originally, because I thought Cody was going to fucking win the title, but he didn't. But then when they made the new fake title for Seth, I'm like, Gunther and Seth. And they literally teased that on Monday. So me, in my Cody hysteria, started spinning, being like, oh my God, they're going to do Cody and Punk at Mania non-title. And we're going to have Seth Gunther, which means the fucking Cuck Rock is going to be fucking fighting Roman Reigns. But we've kind of talked me down a little bit from that. But yeah, I thought those two segments were great. Like, this was one of the better lead-ins to the Rumble I think they've had a long time, because normally it's like someone's in the ring and it's just people, like 30 guys in the ring, throw each other the top rope. That shit's lame. This was so much better. I love the way they built the Rumble this year.
I thought they did a great job. The only thing I hate, we've talked about it. It happened again at Reader's Ugly Head. It's not really heat, but it bears repeating. It's the when I win, I'm choosing you. I hate that bullshit. I just think that's fucking stupid. But that's beside the point.
You can always change your mind, though. That's
no, I know. But anyway, getting back to Punk and Cody, which is again a big fucking deal. I will say this much. There's the one line that you didn't say that I thought was super interesting. There's two things that I really loved. One was, I can separate business from personal. Can you? And I just went like, pot, meet, kettle. Pot, meet, kettle, right? Because the one thing that I was lost on me originally when he said it, I was like, I just started laughing. I'm like, Punk, what the fuck? Like, you're Mr. fucking I work with kids. Like, whatever. But when I watched it again, I went, oh, that's the dig on Cody, that he left AEW for personal reasons. And I was like, okay. Like, that took me a second to get, because I was just thinking he was being fucking.
Sometimes they're too good. It takes you a minute to get it. Like, both these guys are just too good with their words that it takes you a minute.
And the other thing that really, like, the one thing that, again, if you may have missed it, you may have not, we didn't talk about it, but again, it's the way that you harness how people feel like JC and Dom, and you put it into a promo when he was just like, that's right, Cody, there you are, almost at the finish line. But what is that in the distance? A bigger star in your way who's going to take your spot. And I was like, it fucking happened to Punk. Fucking Rock came and took his fucking main event away. And here's The
I
Rock again, fucking taking away Cody. And you're like, your asshole's tightening up like, Jesus Christ. What are you doing, Dwayne? What are you doing? Get the fuck out of my Mania main event.
think did we watch that match together? I was on. What year was that?
The what? The
I just remember that match. Punk and Rock wasn't at the Rumble, right?
I think we were watching it together.
Yeah, The Rock pretty much squashed him and beat him with a people's elbow. I was fucking irate.
Yes.
I was like, I felt like the way CM Punk, like the way I felt about it, I'm like, I can't imagine how he felt. And like, obviously it started, but it was like, I didn't even consider that full circle thing. Now The Rock could fucking, oh my God.
Yep.
I just like, holy shit, Nestle, you just made it so fucking real. Oh man.
But like that's where you blur the lines to make people feel uncomfortable. And I was just like, what a great fucking thing. I will say there is one thing about that fucking promo that bothered the fuck out of me, and it's only because it's me, so I gotta say it. He fucking nudges him, he fucking turns around, they fucking do the hockey fucking, forehead and nose thing, and they're fucking da-da-da-da-da-da, and then they fucking walk away, and it's like, okay, music fucking hits, see you on Saturday. And then fucking they cut the fucking Cole and Wade Barrett, and fucking Punk acts like fucking buddy with Wade Barrett. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You just had a fucking heated moment. You come back going, I'm CM Punk. I just was like, you fucking ruined it for me. Like, what the fuck? Honest to God.
What I was waiting for when they were leaving the ring, because you noticed it took them a long time to play someone's music. I was like, whose music are they going to play? Because whoever music they play is the guy. And they played Cody's, thank God.
Right.
Because look, I love Punk too, but it's just like we know Punk right now. They are going to ride the gravy train.
Oh yeah.
And they are going to treat him great. Even like once we get past whatever, and he has probably likely one reign as champion, he's still going to be a big deal. But like most things, like they know it's just like, it is what it is. Whereas like Cody, it's like, then no. So it's, at least to me, that was the first time I've been like, okay, they're still protecting the king. The king's still most important. That's still the music playing at the end of a segment when it was supposed to be like a standoff. So that made me feel a little better.
Or do they do what they normally do when I go home and give
fuck you? Well, yeah. No, I mean,
give the baby face who's gonna lose the fucking
it's common sense that we're probably both should pick CM Punk to win this Rumble. It makes the most sense.
I agree.
But I'm probably gonna fucking pick Cody because I'm gonna get emotional at the end of this fucking episode, and I'm gonna have to do it. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We got 30.
I got an idea.
Okay.
How about I do some quick shines and then you do some quick heats and we get to the hopes?
I would love that. That would
quick shine time, baby. I got one thing from SmackDown that was good, and that was Logan Paul and the KO show. This was a fun segment. It was good. I love that they brought back the stunner at Mania that I think a lot of us kind of forgot about, but they reminded of it, and like Logan Paul's kept it in his mind. I thought both guys were great here. Paul got in that nice sucker punch, but KO was back up. They had a nice brawl. Boom. That match was already sold, but this was the only thing on SmackDown worth watching this match this week. So you'll get to talk about the rest of it in the quick heats. But I love some matches on Raw and Nestlemania. I absolutely love some matches. Meat match of the week, Ivar and Gable. I thought Gable had this, man, but then fucking that barefooted bitch had to get in the way and cost him, and Ivar picks up the dub. But speaking of the barefooted bitch, she lost early in the night after Ivy squashed her. And by the way, Maxine's look this week was super hot fire. She is cool. But then we also had a fucking awesome tag team match. It's funny. My Newt say Imperium versus Newton Day. Newton Day. But this was a super hot fire match that turned into a super hot fire brawl. I mean, this is going to lead to some sort of like street fight, make it feel like a big day. But Nestlemania for me, tag team wrestling has been back on Monday Night Raw, but it keeps getting better and better. So those three things really shined for me this week.
I thought the New Day thing, like, so I didn't get to watch it live. And then when I saw people tweeting about it, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I love Imperium. This should be good. And then when I saw the fucking brawl happen, I'm like, oh, this is fucking the intensity which all four men had was great because and then they had the backstage promo. Like everybody was laughing at the unicorns, the fucking pancakes. We can fucking throw down. And I'm like, this is what I want from the New Day because we already have seen all these things. We know they can entertain us. We know they're fucking entertaining as hell, but we don't see them act like a real ass kicking team.
A long time.
That would not be on my fucking dance card. And so I was just really excited to see that. And then, of course, Jay comes in fucking eating the scenery and saying whatever in the promo, but that's fine. Anything else that you want to talk about? That's
no, those are my quick shines. So get to the quick heats.
All right, quick heats. I'm just going to go in order because I just fucking, I got to do this in SmackDown. All right, so Roman shows up and says, I got to fix this and does a whole thing where no fucking contract signing is complete and fucking Nick Aldis shows his balls and says fucking yada, yada, whatever is what it is. 6-man tag with fucking whatever. Heels win. Clearly, Carlito still needs to get his hands on him, so I'm okay with that. It is what it is. Lashley and the boys are, doing their thing. Whatever. And then I'm gonna move on to something else later. Let's see. Oh, this to me was the biggest fucking travesty. We had the fucking fire bitches losing in a jobber alert. A fucking real tag team that really was supposed to curse those titles and probably win those titles is now going back. Now, yes, they had a fucking exclusive fucking promo where they said they'll get back on track and this wasn't the fucking plan and yada, yada, yada. But 95% of the people in the world don't fucking see those promos. So that all they saw was these fucking fire awesome bitches losing. And I was so fucking angry. I was shaking in my bed being like, why? These two could...
They used them literally to just set up the Kabuki Warriors match, which they're already doing this week. So maybe we'll get some schmas.
It just makes me feel like, okay, we're headed to a fucking 4-team something or other. We know what's fucking happening.
But they did them dirty. Christ, they did them very dirty.
Very fucking dirty, and I'm not a huge fan of it, so whatever. And Bailey was on commentary, which we love Bailey, but what the fuck is going on there? Carmelo Hayes, yada yada, whatever. Final Testament, we'll see you next week. That's a meat match I'm sure that you're going to enjoy. It is what it is. And then, of course, AJ and Knight didn't really happen because fucking schmazzo. And then, of course, we get Orton in a solo match there, and it is what it is. It's just Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things. And again, I watched it and I went, if I didn't watch SmackDown, I would have not needed to watch SmackDown. There was no new information on SmackDown, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought there was nothing fun besides that one segment to me either. So
it just felt like you could have missed that. Now back on Raw, things we didn't talk about the Seth thing. I think we're going to hold off on that for just 1 second because I do feel like we should talk about that a little bit more. Moving on, we'll go further down. We have Judgment Day doing Judgment Day things. It is what it is. I don't know what it is about Judgment Day now, but I'm over it. I think I'm ready for fucking the breakup to happen here, and I think we're moving on.
You've been ready for it since fucking SummerSlam, bro.
I know. Miz versus Dom is a whatever match, and fuck. I just was like, whatever. It's the Miz and Dom. It should have been good. It was okay. It was whatever. Bronson Reed next week. It's going to be Meat versus Yeet. I love the fucking promos from both of them. So yeah. I love that shit, but like, whatever. Moving on. This is the, Shayna and Zoe beat Indy and Candice, which was a head scratcher for me considering last week Indy and Candice had won. So it's like they beat that team, but if you beat the other team, then you're better than the other team.
We're running in circles, baby.
It was a shell game. It was a fucking shell game. And of course, we fucking have the random thing about Jinder wanting to have a fucking word with Pierce. So I can only imagine what the fuck that's about. And then of course we get to the main event. Again, it was a big man wrestling match. It was fine. There was nothing technically wrong with it, but I just don't fucking care. Like it just made me feel like it wasn't a main event. It just is what it is. But I'm not a huge fan. But we do need to talk about something we didn't talk about, which was Seth Rollins, who apparently needs surgery 3 to 4 months if he goes to get surgery. But Gunther came out and he said, I'm not going to be doing that. Everybody's trying to figure out what the fucking road to WrestleMania is for Seth Rollins. I have a thought, but JC, I'm assuming you do as well.
Seth doesn't need to wrestle till WrestleMania at this point. Like it does, like they were already setting it up that he wasn't going to wrestle at the Rumble. Because I still kind of believe he's been banged up for a while. We know he is. He probably got more hurt in that match. I mean, if he tore his meniscus, that sucks. There is options with these types of injuries where it can heal on its own and do no surgery, which would mean less time you'd be out. But there's obviously a lot more risk for a lot more long-term issues. So he should probably get the fucking surgery. But if Seth's probably at the point of his career, like he's been doing this a while. It's one of those things like he could be due for an extended time off, or if he's willing to risk it a little more and lose it and maybe come back on the lighter schedule, like I wouldn't fault him for that. Like I think that's the beauty of WWE and like them having so many stars is you can have guys come in and out. Like it's one of those things like, yes, SmackDown has definitely suffered without the Roman Reigns presence, but for the most part, it's like it doesn't hurt their business side of it. The entertainment value, sure, but not the business. So, but yeah, I mean, and the way I look at it, he doesn't need to be on the Aussie show. That show's already going to fucking sell itself. You're already going to have big stars there. Roman's probably not going to be on the show either, but it doesn't fucking matter when you got Rhea Ripley, you got Cody Rhodes, you got CM Punk, you got all this shit going on. You got Elimination Chamber itself. Like, you don't need Seth. So I think just rest up, get ready, and hopefully face some Punk at Mania.
So here's my thing. I wouldn't be surprised. They're not going to do it, I don't think. But it made me think like he basically said in the promo, I am walking in as champion and I'm going to do my best to defend it and win. All I could think about was he could lose right now, go away, heal up and focus on that and then come back like a couple of weeks before, fucking win, then have a fucking rematch with the person he beats, and then go right on to fucking WrestleMania like everything was supposed to be hunky dory, and then we're off and running. I think that's
I
what
agree,
they
but
should
you know
do.
who doesn't agree? Triple
Rollins.
H.
Okay.
This is Triple H. This is his baby. Seth Rollins is and always has been Triple H's number one baby. And even if he knows, which he has to know, that this world title reign, as much as they set it up as being the greatest thing ever, he's a fighting champion, it has fucking sucked him in the drizzling shits. But you know what? Time heals Nestlemania. All that shit, because they're going to look back in 5 years and be like, man, Seth was the first champion here, and he held that thing for almost a year. What a great champion. So, and Triple H is big on that. We've seen that. He likes these longer title reigns. He likes this more meaningful stuff. He's doing his best with this. Personally, I agree. Seth should have just dropped the shit. Whatever. I would have fucking done the shock Jinder win or had Priest cash in. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Let him rest up. Come back. Win it back from fucking Jinder on a Raw. Fucking defend it at WrestleMania against CM Punk. Bing, bang, boom. But Triple H is not me, and I'm not Triple H, because I don't fucking want to bang Seth Rollins in the fucking butt every night like he does. Speaking of Plan B.
You don't need Plan B if you're fucking.
I know. That's why it's funny. Come on, Adam.
Well, I guess Plan B for butt.
Oh, there you go. Plan butt.
Plan butt when you can't. Never mind. You know what? I'm not even going to go down that road. I have a great joke, but it's terrible. Anyway,
sometimes you just want to move your D up into the A.
Well, they say if you can't, never mind. I gotta move on. So there it is. We're gonna cleanse from there to go to something else. Now, folks, this is my favorite thing we do every year. We'll give a special shout out to our boy Trav, the intern, who came up with this idea many moons ago. I think it was 7 years ago he came to us with this idea specifically. So it is 30 hopes. JC gets 15, I get 15. Please play along. We might use some of yours if you've got them in
Maybe
the chat.
some bonus hopes, because I like to cheat.
Yep. JC has some bonus hopes.
We did have that 40-man Royal Rumble one year or whatever. And then wasn't the greatest Royal Rumble like 50?
I was there at the 40. That was Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
That was where Santino was at the end. Speaking of which, he's not one of our hopes.
Hope?
No, fuck that. That guy could be, if that guy could get like to Mars, I'd be happy. I don't want that guy anywhere near my wrestling. Honestly,
he did have a great theme song though.
Yeah, that's about it. And the
I agree.
Whistle and shit.
Yeah,
so
he's a piece of shit.
Your boy over here, Joe, is just fucking yelling and screaming MJF. So MJF, I don't believe MJF is coming in the Rumble. I really don't. I think MJF has to finish his story. Sorry.
He'll be in the Royal Rumble someday. I just don't think it's going to be for the next 3 to 5 years until his second contract that he definitely already signed.
You know, it's all about the boom. That's all I got to say right now, folks. All right. So JC, since we can flip a coin, or you can go first. I don't really have a problem if you'd like to go first.
First is the worst, second is the best, and so we're gonna let you go first.
All right, fine. All right. Before we start, Danny says, let's see. A jobber knocker hopes Mickey James for Nestle so he can cream his pants. Maven for JC so he can cream his pants. Well, that's a good start. That's a good start.
Maven's the only one I haven't got yet. I've got Shelty. I got Carlito. I got Eva Marie. I get what I want, baby.
All right. So here's my number one hope. This is for Nestle. Okay. First, we're going to have Braun Breaker debut in the Royal Rumble. He's going to fucking start spearing motherfuckers left and right. He comes in, maybe let's say he comes in at a fucking 9, 10, or 11, fucking just starts nailing.
Not 10.
Right. Whatever.
Save that one.
Well, we'll throw it out. He throws fucking motherfuckers out left and right, left and right. He's fucking just being a badass Braun Breaker. He comes out at 11. 12 is Braun Strowman. We have the Battle of the Bronze. Ooh. And we go fucking nuts with meat on meat. And fucking Braun Strowman takes fucking Big Daddy Booty and throws him right over the fucking top rope into the fucking crowd to make a fucking moment. And there we are. Braun versus Braun. Let's fucking go.
Brought to you by Brawny.
Yes, exactly.
Can clean up their mess. Well, I guess going to get this one out of the way, Nestlemania. And this is the last one I add to my list, but the graphic little numbers game they put on Monday gave it to me. I want Cody Rhodes to join the elite list of back-to-back Royal Rumble winners. You know who else is on that elite list?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's it. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Cody Rhodes, solidify it. Fuck you, Rock. Get the fuck out of my main event. This solidifies it. It gives me fucking 2.5 months of anxiety-less nonsense of fucking that fucking piece of shit Rock coming back. So hope number one for JC. Hashtag JC knows. Hey, hashtag
don't
JC come true. Cody Rhodes wins back-to-back Rumbles. Whoa!
So another one I'm going to say here, again, this is going to be a complete one-off. The Miz will be in the ring doing Miz-like things. We love the Miz. We also know that the Miz has a lot of friends that are not in the WWE. And I think for a one-off, for one night only, we get a woo. Matt Cardona comes in and fucking...
Never thought you'd hope for this.
I know, but Matt Cardona's been doing great on the indies. I think it would be nice to see him. I don't think he's going to be back in the WWE full time, but I think giving him a Rumble spot, giving him a little bit of the rub. We know that weekend at WrestleMania, he's going to be all over the place. I would imagine he's going to be in Tampa anyway. So what the fuck? Give him a little fucking run in at the Rumble and let him throw out the Miz. That's all I would think. Give me some Mark Cardona. Give me some Matt Cardona. Excuse me.
That is surprising. Also, good friends with Cody. So there you go.
There you go.
Nestlemania. I mean, we got to get some of the easy ones out of the way here. And, we're going to the Women's Royal Rumble because I like to alternate sometimes. And, her hubby's back. So let's light it up. I hope for this every year, but this year it might actually happen. AJ Lee in the Rumble. You know what? To add to it, when she comes out, I want her two little babies to be in the ring too, and Roxanne and Cora. Well, Cora can't because she's tore ACL, but in spirit, so AJ can come out and we can see them all like happy and sad or whatever, and then AJ can turn heel and throw everyone out and be crazy AJ because I fucking love AJ Lee and she's way better than CM Punk, who I also love now. But give me AJ Lee. Hope number 2 for JC.
All right, moving on to number 3. I would love to do this because I think it's fun. I would say that Fallon Henley is in the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeehaw! Speaking of Mickey James.
Yeehaw, bitch. Yeehaw, bitch. And then, of course, coming up right behind her would be Tiffy Time. And they continue their little spat back and forth. They're working together, and then they get into a fight. And then they both get fucking thrown out over the top rope by, I don't know, like Nia Jax or somebody that can fucking throw a 2-for-1s. And I just think they continue their bickering and fucking cat fighting and whatever the fuck they're going to do. And then they get a little bit of advertisement for going to NXT. So I think Fallon Henley is amazing. I think Tiffy is a Tiffy top. She's just fucking awesome. So like, let's let the rest of the world see how awesome those two are.
I like it. You know what, Nestlemania? I think it's time for a combo hope because you're going to think I'm done and I'm not going to be done, baby, because we got all the stamina in the world for this hope. So first, Gunther's in the ring with his Imperium bros. Probably just Ludwig because Gio probably won't get in, sadly. But they're in there. They're dominating. Gunther's throwing people out, acting all dominant, talking shit, saying how he's the best, he's going to win. And then the Beast music hit. Brock Lesnar. And we have a little scrap here. The match that I want to see at WrestleMania, that I've wanted to see for a long time. I want them to slap the fuck out of each other. But I want Gunther to eliminate him, Nestlemania. Because we know one thing about Brock. When you fucking piss him off, he comes for you. And that means he's going to be coming for Gunther's throat at the show of all shows in April. So book it. But I'm not done. I'm not done, Nestlemania.
Okay.
Because after Gunther eliminates Brock Lesnar, it's a big moment. Ludwig throws out Gunther, betrays him. Imperium setting up his run, his slow run, to win and be the one to dethrone Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Combo hope.
Speaking of, no, I'm not going to do a combo hope. That was just weird. I just like doing segues. So this is for the Women's Royal Rumble here. I would like to see something that I think would be kind of cool. I don't know if it'll happen, but I just like to dream because you should dream. We have the Kabuki Warriors both in there, right? Okay. And we also could have the Voodoo bitches in there.
Oh,
we could maybe get a little foursome, and then we get a little fucking mist, and fucking maybe the Voodoo's got some fucking black mist, and we just get like all sorts of fucking.
No, they breathe fire. They're dragons.
Breathe fire. So fucking give me pyro. Give me some type of projectile 4-way, and I will fucking
like Alexa's fireball.
Yes, anything. Just fucking pyrotechnics, fucking spewing everywhere. Fucking, we're gonna be sitting there with our pants off anyway. It'll be fucking magical. Everybody will win. So I think that'd be fucking awesome.
Isla Dawn and pants off. That does correlate. Nestlemania, my next one. We're gonna stick in the men's Royal Rumble for JC and Randy Orton's in the ring because he might not be in the Rumble because if that Roman Reigns match is the main event, but let's say he is because I want to set up Randy Orton's WrestleMania opponent. And the reason why I think this is even more plausible now is because I thought, Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa, that'd be a pretty good WrestleMania match. They just gave it away on Friday, so they probably ain't doing that. So Randy Orton needs someone to fight. So he's in the ring. He's doing Randy Orton things, RKO and everyone. But then music that we've never heard before hits. And it is, Dr. Joe just mentioned his name in the chat. That's why I'm blowing it now. Okada debuts in the Royal Rumble. Dom's wet dream. He doesn't want to go to fucking shitty ass AEW. Nah, he can probably still go to NXT, but why not debut him in the fucking Rumble, man? That place would go nuts for him. And I just like, I kind of brought this up in the thread when this kind of like stuff about him being a free agent came up, kind of asking everyone's like dream matches. And for me, I come to a guy like Randy Orton because it's not the stereotypical like match you think with Okada. Be like the AJ Styles one is obvious, the Shinsuke Nakamura, like all these types of matches I think are obvious. But for me, it's like I want to see him in a match with one of the better like technicians and smart, intelligent putting together a match like Randy Orton. I think that'd be the best way to debut him. I think they'd put on a banner, and I think it'd be cool because the match I don't think a lot of people could ever contemplate. So I think it'd be a good way to start. So Okada and Orton, they kind of get into it, sets up a match at Mania. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC hopes come true.
I'm going to do a combo hope, not just because I like combos, but here's a combo hope for
Doc
men.
loves combos.
Yeah, Doc loves combos. Here's a men and a women thing going on here. Ready? We're going to have a family get together, women's and men's Royal Rumble. We're going to have in the men's Royal Rumble, Ty Dillinger comes back. In the women's Royal Rumble, Peyton Royce. We're going to have 10, 10, 10 all over the goddamn place. A family affair, both two Rumbles. I think it'll be fun for both of them.
He has to return at 10. If not, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love Peyton Royce. I mean, I would really want to see Billy, but I know that's not going to fucking happen. She just had a kid. So.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. She had a kid.
I knew Peyton had her kid last year. So.
Yeah. So is what it is.
Well, Nestlemania, I got one for you here.
Okay.
It's Chelsea in the ring with Piper. It's early on in the Rumble. They're doing some things. Chelsea's setting up people to get thrown out, and they're like talking shit as they toss out some of their fellow members of the tag team out. Bye, Natalia. Bye, Casey. Bye, Caden. Oh, Zoe, thanks for coming. Shortest elimination ever because you suck. Oh, Shayna Baszler, yeah, we'll get you out of there. They're looking dominant. They threw out everyone in the tag division. But then Nestlemania, a voice comes over the PA system. And now, I would like to welcome the return of the wonderful, amazing, all red everything, Eva Marie. And she's coming down. She's got some history with Piper Niven / Doudrop. And Chelsea's just like, ha, making fun of her, poking fun. But then we notice behind her, Piper's face changes. Piper picks up Chelsea, throws out Chelsea, reunites. Doesn't have to become Doudrop again. They can be Eva and Piper, but turns on her tag team partner, teams with her old tag team partner in Eva Marie. Eva Marie's back in WWE where she should be. Bam!
I think that's wonderful. I love that. She was in it at my additional hopes in case I had to grab for something. So I'm glad you had a full-fledged Eva thing.
That was one of the easy ones.
Yeah, that was like that's on your dance card every year.
Combined with like something obvious that can happen now with something I want to happen, it gets the juices flowing.
Yeah. So I think just because it's fucking Rumble season and fucking I feel like he's going to be interjected in a lot of things that going forward in the WWE, even though he can't commentate as much anymore. I think Pat McAfee makes a surprise Rumble appearance here, and everybody's going to go fucking, the whole thing and get excited for him. But as he's fucking, diving and dodging the whole night, commentary is just fucking, making a big deal about Pat McAfee until like, let's say number 27 fucking comes in, right? And all of a sudden you hear, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. He runs in. Wade Barrett gives him a bull, just fucking throws out Pat McAfee and says he's a better commentator than Pat McAfee. I would fucking pop big time just to hear, I've got some bad news, Cole. I've got to get in there. I would fucking lose it because he's probably still fucking amazingly in shape. He just doesn't do anything. He was doing really well in NWA, and it's a Royal Rumble. You don't need to fucking bump. And I think Wade Barrett deserves his flowers.
He's a stud. I'd pop for that. You know how I feel about Bad News Barrett. All for that. Nestlemania, I'm staying in the Women's Royal Rumble. Sometimes in the middle, these Rumbles, it gets kind of sleepy. There's not a lot of eliminations. There's a lot of people taking naps in the corner. Well, I know a certain superstar that loves taking naps. And out she comes in her debut. Wendy Chu makes a return. We haven't seen her in like a year. But she likes taking naps. She likes pillows. She comes out in the Rumble with her pillow. Everyone's already taking naps anyways because it's the middle of the Rumble and people are just trying to rack up their time totals. So Wendy comes out, takes a nap in the corner of the ring. Eventually gets into it, but hey, everyone's napping anyways. Miles joined the nap party. By the way, Wendy Chu, super fantastic wrestler. I think she got injured. I don't know what's happening. I'm assuming she still works for the company, but I think it would be cool. A nice, cool surprise return that no one would expect is Wendy Chu in the Women's Royal Rumble.
I do like some Chew. She's nice. Moving on to mine. What?
Nothing.
You say it was creepy?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, pop me kettle. Mr. fucking American Nightmare Boner. Anyway, I just because I love him, he said he wasn't gonna fucking be there. I'm just hoping he's just throwing the scent off here. X-Pac makes a surprise. I love X-Pac. I've always been a 1, 2, 3 kid guy. I've always been an X-Pac guy. 6, like just the Bronco Buster and the chops and the shit. And it's just like X-Pac. I would mark out so fucking hard if he just started like 4 Bronco Busters. I would fucking lose my shit. I really would. And again, that's what the Royal Rumble's about, is losing your shit over like, holy shit, what is this motherfucker doing here? I think X-Pac.
I like it. Well, Nestlemania, I got another fun one here. So Maxine's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Otis is probably going to be at ringside because someone's going to catch her if people are tossing her out like we've seen in the past. So Maxine's in the ring. She's about to get tossed out, but she stays in because Otis keeps her in. But then, Mandy. Out comes Mandy Rose, and suddenly Otis is very confused. And Mandy and Maxine have the stare down of all stare downs, being like, JC likes me more. No, JC likes me more. No, Otis is mine. No, Otis is mine. And Nestlemania, they both get thrown out at the same time. And Otis has to choose. Who do you want him to choose? Does he go with option A, Maxine, his partner in the Alpha Academy, his new boo? Or does he go with the woman who originally stole his heart? Yeah, I think he goes with Mandy Rose. He catches Mandy Rose. Maxine is the floor, puts Mandy back in. Mandy wins the Royal Rumble. Main event in WrestleMania. Boom.
That's a lot. That's a lot,
baby.
That is a lot. Like
Mandy and Maxine stare down. The world wouldn't know what is going on.
I mean, Danny just said Mandy versus Maxine Wrestle Boner alert. I mean, that's as
putting it lightly.
That is the definition. That is the definition, Daniel. That is the definition.
Something alert in all our pants.
Well, I mean, it definitely would only take 3 minutes or less. That's for sure. Just because I want to fill in my Royal Rumble with some Gaga and some nonsensical bullshit. I like
Lady Gaga.
I wish the Gaga was there. She's one of my faves. So Joe Gacy has been doing some weird fucking nonsense. I would like to see Joe Gacy. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the Royal Rumble per se, but he can be running around doing fucking nonsense like
him
fucking
on commentary. It was so funny.
It was so funny, right? So him on commentary doing like them being like, what is Joe Gacy doing? And all of a sudden, Joe Gacy tries to fucking hide under the ring, and we hear a scream like, ah, what was that? And then so out slithers Dexter Loomis. So we have Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy, and fucking they, meddling through the fucking backwoods of the arena or something. I just think that'd be fun to have a little side thing going on there with the two creepos, and I think that'd be a lot of fun because Joe Gacy needs something to do, and they haven't used Dexter Loomis in it feels like fucking 9 months already. So after the Miz thing, it was all done. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just a little break in the seriousness department.
I like it. Nestlemania, it's time to get to the stat portion of my hopes.
Oh, brother.
And as we know, I believe it's Bianca and Shayna are tied for the most eliminations ever in a Royal Rumble or something.
I believe that is correct.
I think that was in the little stat package. And I was thinking, wow, have them come out at 1 and 2 because it gives them a chance to do it again. But here's the twist, Nestlemania. You know who debuts at number 3? Jade Cargill debuts at number 3. Not only does she throw out Shayna Baszler with these, she tosses out Bianca Belair like she's nothing. Jade goes on to be the Iron Woman of the Rumble, racks up the most eliminations, probably gets eliminated by like Nia when she comes out at 30 or some bullshit. But she ruins Bianca's chance, her night. And not only did Jade Cargill have an impressive debut, eliminating the 2 eliminators of all eliminators, she has herself set up now at a WrestleMania match with Bianca Belair. And she's now the new stat holder for most eliminations. That's how you debut Jade Cargill. And that's the thing. This is how WWE does it in WrestleMania. They brought her in hot. They sent her everywhere. But we haven't heard that name in like a month. Mm-hmm. It's always by design because they want to catch you lacking. And Jade Cargill's going to catch everyone lacking in that Women's Royal Rumble when she's breaking records, baby.
It's funny because I had as my hope that she was going to throw out Nia after Nia fucking eliminates everybody. I would love to
see her and Bianca than her and Nia.
No, I know. But I'm not counting that as my hope. Moving on to number 9 for us. Just because I want a what the fuck moment. Just because Jake Paul. Like,
Ugh.
I think he's already going to be there to be like with his brother. And you're just like, you want to see the chorus of boos. That guy is going to get fucking shit thrown at him. Like, that's like heat you can't manufacture.
Have
Like,
him and Dom team up. It'll go real well.
Man, that would fucking be nuclear. Just because, like, you can throw anybody in the Royal Rumble. They threw Drew Carey in there. You know what I mean? Like, Logan Paul is not going to be, we would think, in the Royal Rumble. But Jake Paul in the Royal Rumble, you want to talk about viral moments? There it is. Like, I mean, obviously, he would need a little bit of help. But I think Jake Paul could really send this into a fucking another stratosphere.
I like it.
Mhm.
Because it would make people mad. And I like making people mad. Oh, where to go next, Nestlemania? We'll just do an easy one here because I don't care where he comes back, but I want him back in the E. We know he's gone from the AEW. So Andrade El Idolo returns in the Royal Rumble, does his thing, does his shitty fucking trying to take off a bra finisher to someone, probably sets something up here with the LWO and Carlito and Santos and the Gain. Maybe if Rey Mysterio returns, maybe Andrade returns right after him. We get a little stare down there because that's a match I could probably watch every week, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. So, El Idolo back in the Rumble, baby.
I had him coming back and helping Ray when Santos goes after him.
I don't mind that.
You know what I mean? So
Ray has the veterans with him, Carlito and Andrade. So
yeah, but I don't think Andrade plays well with the others, so I just think it
well,
probably won't last.
Just set up the turn, baby.
Yep.
By the way, Andrade and Carlito match. JC wants to see that.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about
JC
a wrestle boner? Yeah. Rikishi's not coming back, Huge Wayne. Knock it off.
You know what? He might now. Nestle just cursed him into coming back.
No. Huge Wayne, if Rikishi shows up at number 30 in the Rumble, like you just suggested, I will personally buy anything Rikishi and wear it on this program. Okay? There you go.
I think you have to let Huge Wayne give you a stink face if that happens.
That's disgusting. That guy probably doesn't wipe his ass.
It's a wrestling move.
I'm not going to have anybody's ass in my face. That's disgusting. Disgusting. You guys are awful. Deplorable. That's just deplorable. Anyway, moving on. I think we're on number 10 now, if my memory serves me correctly. And get Doc to stink. Why is Doc getting to stink face me? I don't want his ass anywhere near me. I don't want his Yogi Bear Hobbit ass in my fucking face. Probably never even washes his ass. Fucking probably never takes a shower. He's fucking disgusting.
Oh, he's not. He's a doctor. He's very clean. He's
gotta be
every other week.
He adjusts my back every other week.
He does a great job, Adam Mania.
Adam Mania, thanks.
Yeah.
Somebody who I think deserves a Royal Rumble spot for me, just because I want to see the crowd go nuts for him. I feel like TJ and anybody else we would know would fucking just be banging out to the theme would be whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I like it. Like I just think he's been doing so well. He needs that next level of notoriety, and especially if he's going to become the face of NXT for a short while, it seems like inevitably he will be the NXT champion. I think this is a great way to put him and usher him into a nice little spot there for Trick. That's what I'm going to do there.
I don't mind it. I would like it a lot, actually. Trick's the man. Well, Nestlemania. I want, sometimes when you watch the Rumble, mistakes happen. People get confused. They do things that don't make sense. So we're in the Women's Royal Rumble. We're in the middle. There's stuff going on. And someone's supposed to come out. Their music hits, but they don't come out. We don't know who it is. Can pick anybody. Maybe Michelle McCool. She tripped in the back. So this is even better. That song's playing. And out comes R-Truth, very confused, with a ticket in his hand that says number 15, which is the number. And he gets in the ring. And then he goes, I'm here for the Men's Royal Rumble. And they're all looking at him and whatever. We get the classic R-Truth. We see it every week. It's great. He's holding up his ticket. And then Nia Jax or Jade Cargill just pick him up and fucking yeet into the stratosphere. But R-Truth in the Women's Royal Rumble, it'd be funny. I think it'd be a funny moment.
I think that's great. I was trying to figure out how do you interject, R-Truth into something.
R-Truth into something.
You have to have R-Truth somehow.
It'll probably be him accidentally eliminating
Damian Priest,
Tom and Nick.
Yeah, Tom and Nick. All right, moving on to let me see what else I've got here. Something that I think actually might transpire in this Rumble here. I don't know if it's going to be true or not. I feel like a surprise entrant here after Bailey's going to be cleaning house is going to be Dakota Kai returns. and Dakota Kai turns
Ooh.
on Bailey, and she stops her from getting the win at the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
So,
well, I see your Bailey hope and I raise you because Nestlemania, we're at the end of Women's Royal Rumble, and it's probably going to be a damage control fucking dominant fest. So we're at the end, and it's Bailey, and it's the Kabuki Warriors, and it's all three of them, and they just fucking turn on Bailey and beat the fuck out of her. But now look at there's three people left, but there's still one entrant remaining. And that entrant had a dreamer, and they made it out at 30. Sasha Banks returns, helps her friends. They disband of the Kabuki Warriors, and it just comes down to the two of them. And Nestlemania, Bailey wins because we still want Bailey and Io. But you get the moment of Sasha. You know, actually, I don't even need Sasha. I'm going to amend the hope. Everyone's already come out. So Sasha's not an entry, just comes out and fucking helps her because I realized I set it up because I'm like, then I'm going to want Sasha to turn, but we're not going to want to do that right away. That's down the line. So we're going to reverse. So she had a dream and she made it, but she's not in the Rumble, but she helps out Bailey. Bailey tosses out the Kabuki Warriors. Bailey wins the Women's Royal Rumble. She goes on to WrestleMania to challenge Rhea. Nope. Io Sky in how it should be. We're both probably going to pick Bailey at the end of the show.
We are probably,
I
but
want it to happen too because I want damage control to end and I want Bailey and Io.
Yeah, I agree. Just because I love her and I think that this is like a forever hope for me in the Royal Rumble. She ain't, fuck you. Fuck you. Just fuck you. She had a kid. She had twins, actually, I think. So she's definitely not. She's twins. No, Kelly can just fucking suck it. Anyway, moving on. My favorite women's wrestler. She ain't the lady to mess with. Whoop, Victoria, because I just love watching her wrestle. I love her in general. She's one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, Tony, my friend, saw her at a convention. Was like, I just want to let. And Tony's creepy in general, as you know. He looked at her and he went, I just want to let you know, you were my best friend's high school crush, and you know. And like the most nicest way possible, she was like, "I'm very flattered by that. Thank you very much." And I was like, that just made me feel like so warm and fuzzy that she just kind of like pushed him away and kept going, like whatever. But I have a soft spot for Victoria. I love her, and she deserves more than she gets. And I think a lot of people forget how much work she did during her time.
I love Victoria too, which is why this next hope is really going to pain me. Victoria comes out, she gets attacked on the ramp by an angry Nia Jax who just got eliminated. So someone has to replace her. And Kelly replaces her. Nestle had the high moment and was immediately slapped in the face by Kelly coming in and doing work. Nestle, who's your favorite active women's wrestler on the roster, not named Rhea Ripley or Io Sky?
Oh, goodness. I do really love Fallon Henley.
So Kelly comes in the ring, immediately tosses out Fallon Henley. Good night. See ya.
Why do you want me to have a bad time?
Because
you just want me to replicate my fucking meltdown from like 5 years ago.
I don't think you can ever replicate your Kelly meltdown. That was incredible.
That was legit too. I was sitting there.
You were very upset. It was so good. It was so good. And it's funny because I turned the camera and I'm like, here it comes. And then it fucking came and you walked up and we're just screaming. It was, can't make this shit up.
If Kelly shows up, folks, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You know I'm going to yell.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to throw a hissy fit like a toddler.
Yep.
I see it every day. I wonder where they get it from. It's because of me.
It's not your lovely wife. It is you.
All right, we're down to 13 here before we start going on miscellaneous stuff. Although our boy Danny did say Gigi in the Royal Rumble. That is a real thing here. I could also see some JC Jane. I know that would make fucking Guthrie's day as well. So
I think Thea Hale's more likely than both of them.
Doc
they can parade out that fucking chase you bullshit. Because here's the thing. Another thing about Royal Rumble is gimmicks that can have a crowd are always well used in a Royal Rumble. So if Thea Hale came out with the fucking chase you nonsense band, it'd be like fucking the Rosebuds, and they can do some bullshit with that. So
don't be a lemon.
Be a rosebud.
Be a rosebud. Yeah. Fuck both of you because you're Kelly and you're Becky to piss off Nestle. Yeah. Okay. No thanks. Anyway, down to number 13, unlucky number 13, JC. We're down to the nitty gritty here. I'm looking at my stuff here, more serious stuff, I would think. Somebody we would probably expect, this is probably a slam dunk here. Liv Morgan returns to a big pop and probably does really well. I would even go as far as I think Liv Morgan could be in the Final Four.
If she comes back, she should be because she's a fucking stud.
I just think she did a great job and she did a wonderful job with that title reign. and she's believable and likable, and you just want to see her fucking do well. So I think Final Four.
So I have another one that is really nice, or I have one where I completely troll everyone.
Let's troll every day.
So
babe.
we get to number 30, and like there's some big names that haven't come out yet. Like people could be thinking Sasha/Mercedes, people could be thinking like a legend, people could be thinking Trish Stratus, Lita, like all these great surprise ones. Like, oh man, who are they saving for 30? It's gonna be such a big deal. And then I can't fucking do the music. I'm trying to think how to hum it, but Ronda Rousey's music hit. Ronda Rousey comes back in the Royal Rumble, fucking just starts tossing everyone's fucking favorites, and the place just loses their fucking mind. From Ring of Honor right back to WrestleMania, baby.
Oh my god, if she won the whole thing again.
Can you imagine if they did that at 30? It would be so fucking loud, the boos, especially if like it's just one of those things like you could have Mercedes or Lita or like just any like big name that hasn't like come back or debuted yet, and people will be like, oh my god, it's got to be this person, and then boom, it's fucking Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
I hope she never returns ever. I
doubt it. She literally went to fucking Ring of Honor for like a week.
I just feel like she's done what she did. She launched the wrestling world into another stratosphere with the women. If it wasn't for her, there would not be Becky Lynch. It just is what it is, folks. Becky Lynch would not have main evented WrestleMania if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey. So,
I mean, hey, look I was pro Ronda when during her run when it was going well, but it obviously soured pretty quick.
Yeah, it's tough, but you know,
she also gave Liv her greatest moment ever, which I'll always love her for that.
Right. Shit. I just remember her mouthing shit as she was running down the fucking. I love it. I love that shit. Moving on to something else. I'm looking. It's getting to a point where I'm saving one for next. Like my last one is what I want to leave you with. Oh God, that's. I feel like these are too safe, so I'm trying to think of like. I was gonna go with Solo having the most eliminations this year in the Royal Rumble because he's had such a fucking losing streak. It seems like he's lost to he beat John Cena, and ever since then he's lost every match, even though he's Roman's fucking henchman.
LA Knight and Randy Orton beat him.
Yeah, and he keeps losing match after match. But I feel like Solo beating up motherfuckers for a portion of that Rumble and throwing people out feels like having him have the most eliminations would be very easy. So there you go.
How many do I have left?
You have 2. Good, sir.
Oh man. This is a tough one. It's a tough one where I want to go next, Nestlemania. But you know what I'd like to see? Someone mentioned it earlier. The Miz is in the ring. And we call back to WrestleMania. Snoop Diggity Dogg enters the Royal Rumble, and Miz can try to get his redemption. And we got a Snoop Dogg Miz part 2. Snoop Dogg just freestyling and free balling, free wilding.
Free balling, yeah.
Yeah, I hope not. Everyone loves Snoop Dogg. Who doesn't love Snoop Dogg? So it'd be a fun little pop in the middle of the Rumble. It's a nice little callback. We always love a good callback. So,
all right. So technically, this is the last one, but JC is going to throw in some majors, I'm sure, at the end of these. But it's whatever. So here's my last one that I just think is hilarious to me and would make us go, "What the fuck?" And I jump out of my seat for it. He recently just signed a Legends deal, and he has merchandise on WWEshop.com coming soon, apparently. Randomly in the men's Royal Rumble, Ken Shamrock comes in fucking looking haggard and fucking chiseled and fucking just, it's fun to go shovel time, and just starts fucking snapping ankles. I would fucking lose it. I would laugh so fucking hard. People would have half the audience wouldn't have no fucking clue. I would fucking jump out of my seat and pop for it because he looks like a fucking $1 million even though he's like 50 years old. I would think it would be hilarious. There you go.
This one just came to me. So in the ring, we got some big guns. We got Drew McIntyre headbutting people. We got gendering people. And then
hindering.
I'm just one man. I'm a 3-man band. And out he comes, and Heath Slater's doing his thing. Crowd's going nuts because we all love Heath Slater. He's got kids. Come on. And he gets in the ring. He looks at Jinder. He looks at Drew. And he wants to strum alum. And they're both like, what the fuck? And then Drew, for a minute, kind of just like shrugs like into it. Does a thing. And then Jinder buys in. We get a little 3-man band, but that Drew's like, fuck you, toss them both out. We move on with our lives. But I mean, you know how I feel about Heath Slater. You know how I feel about 3MB, baby. I'd love the reunion in the Rumble this year.
That's good. I like that. So technically we are done with our 30 hopes, but our boy Joe did just say, what if Steve Blackman entered as well? I would laugh very hard. Do you know that guy fucking beat up JBL at an airport? So he's my national hero. I don't give a fuck about whatever Steve Blackman did. He beat up JBL in an airport. Good for him. Fucking bully. But there are things that we probably want to do. So do you want to just rattle off some other things we didn't get to do?
Yeah. But here, I'll set it up even more because this is going to be my last hopes on 3B one. That fucking old piece of shit, Undertaker, enters the Royal Rumble. Takes 30 fucking minutes to get down there. But then the person after him is Maven, and we run it back. Maven eliminates the Undertaker again. See ya.
Oh, man.
I can't tell you how much I'd pop. It'd make up for Cody losing later in the night because I'd be on such a high.
If
ride.
Maven was at the Royal Rumble, that would make it okay.
Yeah, because I just Nestle. This is the last one. This is the last one. I mean, I'd love to have say it to my face. Alex Riley show up looking like a bag of milk like he is now. But
good God.
Number one, Maven, forever and always, baby. I got it right there on my wall. Got him right there on my wall.
Nobody can see that. Nobody can see it. Nobody can see it.
It's right
Nobody
there.
can see it. Yeah, I can see it. It just looks like a blur.
Well, I was saying that it's there, Nestlemania.
Since we're showing off things that Dom got us. This is my Atom Bomb official Nerf throw that he got. That's Atom Bomb. One. He said he was at a bar with Brian Clark and had him fucking sign that. And he's like, before he gave it to me, he was like, I got to play catch with Atom Bomb. I fucking love Dom.
Dom's the man.
Anyway, so big shout out to Dommy Feds. Check out all his shit, by the way. He's doing a lot of awesome stuff.
He's been writing a lot on the site, jobberknocker.com.
Yeah. Just really quickly as I spin through here, Sami Zayn seems like a layup, right? To come back. I had something in here. The AOP is going to do something fucking.
You know with AOP? Yeah, you know me.
They probably take out Bobby or something because that's just the way it is. I'm trying to think. We know Rey Mysterio probably shows back up and fucking. Sheamus will probably come back. I did have a random in here with Oba Femi.
Dude, he's a fucking beast, right?
He is a stud, right?
Oh
I was like,
God.
That guy could fucking be in the Rumble and everybody would be like, who is this guy? And then only get eliminated by Omos.
Oh my God. I had an Omos hope too. Yeah, that'd be good.
But I just feel like that
everyone, that dude, oh my God. You can do so much with a guy like Omos in there, but yeah, that'd be a big moment for Obafemi. If you guys haven't seen him, he's very new to NXT. Won the breakout tournament. He's already the North American champion. This dude, he's a former football player. And he is a fucking unit, like unit. Like
he can talk.
Dude, he can talk. Good. He's doing like a Nigerian Prince gimmick or something like that. We've seen before, but it's way better than Apollo Crews ever did. And I shout out Apollo Crews. I don't think we're going to see him in the Rumble, but
we're not going to see him ever again.
Rumble, Nestlemania. Lola Vice, get her in the Rumble. Let's Mamacita Cubano in the Rumble. But I think it's more likely. What did you say? WrestleMania is in Miami next year. Lola Vice is going to be main eventing, bro. Gonna have Lola Vice night 1, The Rock night 2. You got all the Miami stars taken care of.
Well,
Jimmy
they
Butler
said
would be there. That'd be great.
They said that it could be Minneapolis. Minneapolis. There we go. So it could be Miami or Minneapolis. We'll see. But I hope to Christ it's Miami because if it's Minneapolis.
Where's the Rumble? Tampa?
Tampa. Yeah.
Tampa, WrestleMania is Philly.
So
mix all this shit up.
Warren Sapp could show up.
Well, I was going to say, I'm like, if they're in Philly, they could ride the hot Jason Kelsey train coming out shirtless.
Yeah, I know, right?
If he came out to a Taylor Swift song, his future sister-in-law, possibly. Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say about your hope, or we're all set?
I think another name to watch would be Alexa Bliss, possibly. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Sonya Deville's timetable is, but the hope that I use for Eva Marie could also work with fucking Sonya Deville, but on the other foot with Chelsea. I think your Cardona one was a good one because I think that's a surprise, especially with Triple H in charge. It's happening at some point. And could easily be a one-off, and it would be he'd be thrilled for it, especially now that wifey's all over TV. That's one for sure. So there's a lot of potential returns. There's a lot of potential debuts. There's a lot of potential being let down, but I still think my Ronda Rousey at 30 would be the fucking funniest thing in the world.
So something else that isn't necessarily in the Royal Rumble, but it is from our boy Todd that I do want to talk about very quickly, which would be like, this would make everybody very angry, but probably me. So they bar fucking Solo from ringside for the Fatal 4-Way, and Roman Reigns still wins anyway with the help of Tama Tongo. And he's now in the bloodline. That dude is fucking, you want to talk about a dude that's got like fucking just je ne sais quoi, some fucking charisma, some riz that I'll never have. Like that dude fucking walks out and he just like JC, you love people who just ooze. This guy just oozes. Like he just looks like somebody that just like he's just so slick. Like he would bring something to the table, no pun intended, that nobody in the bloodline has.
I like
It's
it.
unbelievable.
If
So
he
I
comes
think
to the big show, I look forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
God, I
So
had
there
another
you
hope, but I didn't write it down. I forgot, and it was really good.
All right. Well, you'll think of it later when we're yelling at each other, so it's fine. Which reminds me, we still have to
If
do
I put it out there, they'd probably steal it. So
Royal Rumble predictions we got to do as well. So we should probably
we got the comeback though. Oh, yeah, I have it now. Oh, so Pete Dunne enters the Royal Rumble, gets eliminated, comes back as Butch. Oh, that was it. Yeah, but comeback is Pete Dunne. Is Pete Dunne your comeback, Nestlemania?
I was gonna give Pete. We can both give Pete Dunne our comeback.
I'm not giving Pete Dunne my comeback.
I
figured you would.
I love Pete Dunne. I love the bruiserweight. I love the gimmick. I love the fucking nonsense. Butch was good too, but just like the fucking
Butch was better.
Butch was great.
Hot take. JC thinks Butch is better because Vince McMahon, he doesn't get a lot of things, but he gets that. And Butch was great. Let me at him.
I feel like there's a ceiling for both. So it's
100%.
Just like, so it's
always
just like
a ceiling.
So it doesn't.
A guy that small, you're the size shamer in the group, so you should know there's always a ceiling. But Pete Dunne for sure, like more serious character, more chance of being like an intercontinental championship like that.
I just think him versus Gunther will be great at some point. They'll run it back. It'll be wonderful. And I just love his shrug. You know, it's just like I just love Pete Dunne, and I love a big strong boy too. I think they're a great and Pretty Deadly again. Like I wasn't ready for Butch. I mean, I wasn't ready. This is a completely different person. I was ready for Butch. I was just like, I love the absurdity of Pretty Deadly. It's just so wonderful. Like Kayla being, what was the problem? So yep. I love all that shit. That whole segment, that whole lead up, the whole back, all of it was fucking awesome.
Is that your comeback, or do you have another one?
No, that's my comeback. My
comeback, Nestlemania. Hold on, I got props. I get both my props. Hopefully I can find the second prop. I think it's in here. Shit.
It's in your dildo drawer.
So Nestlemania. We got hold on. I got to make sure I can do it with both hands at once.
You're not very good at everything, are you? Ambidextrous.
The Bang Scissor Game, baby! Yeah! This fucking super group is so fucking absurd. I'm just like, there's so much going on, but I love the idea of the Ass Boys being back with Daddy. I love the idea of like Jay White, like sticking out like a sore thumb in this group. And Nestlemania, the name, a Bang Scissor Game is an all-time fucking name. It'll be short-lived. Hopefully it leads to unifying those fucking disgusting 6-man belts. So there's only one set, not two sets, but just short term, I think it's going to be super fun. The segments are going to be fun. I love that one of the guns has kind of looked like he's wanted it all along and the other one didn't. I think there's just so much potential with these 6 together. It'll make whatever show that AEW puts them on weekly so much more entertaining. I will get a little less free time because I'll actually have to watch these segments on like most of AEW, but the Bang Scissor Game gets my comeback because I'm excited for this random fucking super group.
You have a toy gun in your drawer?
So I guess. So I knew this was in here because when I got my spare key for my car a couple weeks ago, I saw it. I probably got this. Like, it's one of those things. I probably got it like 15, 20 years ago. And it went in this desk. And a couple times I've cleaned out the desk. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just leave it there. I remember that. It's like a Star Wars gun from when I was younger. And it's just one of those things that just keeps getting put in the back of the desk. And it dawned on me when I saw my comeback. I'm like, I think that's still in there. And it was in all the way back of the drawer. So there you go. The Bang Scissor Game.
I'll always pop for props. So you won me over with the prop.
I love having props. I wish I had more.
I'm glad you didn't cut your finger off with the scissors. That was my.
I was a little. Well, that's why I had to go with the scissors and a certain hand because I had to trigger the gun with one and scissor with the other. It's dangerous, man.
It sounds like a threesome that you're gonna have later. Anyway, moving on. That was our comeback. We did our hopes. It's now time for the big old finish. Before we get to the Royal Rumble predictions, is there anything else we need to talk about?
Unfortunately, yes, there is a lot of stuff we have to talk about before we get to the Royal Rumble.
This is the longest.
On Friday SmackDown, we have the Final Testament versus the Lashleys face to face. We have Mello in Theory, the rematch. We're doing Santos versus Carlito on SmackDown, and we have a women's tag title match between Kaden and Katana and the Kabuki Warriors. You got anything there?
I feel like Kabuki Warriors might win this thing.
It might.
I don't
It's
want them to,
WrestleMania season.
but
I think I smell bullshit between the fire bitches, between fucking dumbass Zoe and Shayna. This will be the fucking go home Royal Rumble segment that we hate. Will be this because there's gonna be like 30 women's wrestlers in there just fucking brawling, and it's gonna break up this match because Bayley will already be out there. It's gonna end up with someone who's not winning standing tall. Nia will probably show up, all the fucking everything. So that's the schmaz. After the Royal Rumble and Nestlemania, we have matches for Monday Night Raw. We have an Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Kofi, super hot fire. We have a Tag Team Championship match for the men. Balor and Priest defend against DIY, who we are probably not going to win. And then we have Jey Uso Yeet versus Meat, Big Bronson Reed, baby.
I'm excited for Yeet and Meat. I think that's going to be fun.
Yeet Meat. There's street meat, and then there's yeet meat.
And there's yeet meat. You never throw it away. No, but so I think that's going to be a lot of bangers and a lot of fun stuff on Raw. I think DIY has a real shot at winning here because I feel like we need DIY to do something. So I feel like DIY winning is going to be a thing. We'll see, but there's a chance. There's a real chance. So
there's always a chance, but I'm calling schmaz in that one too. Do we want to talk about AEW before we get to the Rumble?
If you talk about fucking Edge versus fucking Suzuki.
Yeah, that'll be. I am going to fast forward that entire match. Heyman takes on Penta. That's cool. Wardlow versus Trent. LOL. We have Swerve and Jeff Hardy. Who the fuck cares? And then the Acclaimed versus the Mogul Embassy, just because. But it's the Bang Bang Scissor Game, so I'll watch that. And Nestlemania have a collision match. You ready for this? We have FTR and Garcia taking on the House of Black in an elimination cage match.
Does not matter. No one in the fucking world's gonna see it.
JC hates cage matches. Nestle hates elimination matches. Together, that's what we got.
It's a six-man. It's a six-man tag cage match. Elimination.
Going head-to-head with the Royal Rumble.
Oh my God. That is like going to North and South Pole. It is the exact opposite of each other. It's like Royal Rumble, the most exciting thing in the world with your friends to watch it. Casuals come back and then fucking collision. Nobody on an island.
Well, you ready to predict Nestlemania?
I got it ready. Let's do it.
All right. So we have a singles match for the WWE United States Championship. It is Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens. Do we get the title change? I don't think so. Give me Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, is this his first defense? So yeah, Logan Paul's winning big time.
Next up, we have, well, I think, is there only 4 matches? The 2 Rumbles?
So what I saw from Wikipedia, which is, not a real source, but
yeah, because we know Seth isn't defending.
Right. None of the women's titles are being
Gunther's in the Rumble. Doesn't feel like the women's titles. The tag matches are happening on yes. So I guess interesting.
Well, each Rumble is at least an hour and change.
That's true, but there's like 3 other matches. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just. I mean, that Fatal 4 is probably gonna be given a lot of time. So, Fatal 4-way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight. Who the fuck cares? Roman Reigns is winning.
Yeah, LOL, Roman Reigns wins, right?
Yeah. So, all right. Do you want to do the women's Rumble first or the men's Rumble?
I think we can do the women's if you like.
Yeah, ladies first. So there are 6 of 30 entrants have been announced. We have Bayley, Nia Jax, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy Nile. And there's going to be 24 others, some surprises, some others. But Nestlemania, I'd say the contenders are 4 of the 6 women on that list. Who you got? I'll let you go first on this one.
I got to go with my gut on this one. I feel like it's got to be Bayley or Becky.
Yep.
And just because I like one more than the other, clearly I'm picking Bayley.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's going to be Bayley. I was kind of the first one on the Bayley train just to toot my own horn. I've been saying it pretty much fucking forever since since Io Sky won that title. So, and she's kind of like the one thing Bayley hasn't done. She's a horsewoman. She's a stud, and it makes sense. But the other one is Becky because we feel like those are the 2 title challengers are Bayley and Becky. You could make an argument that either of them could easily get to their titles without winning the Rumble. And I think it would be a big deal if she was the first 2-time women's winner, right? Because they haven't had one yet. That's their thing with her and Bianca is they could be the first 2-time winners. But I think it's Bayley's time. I think it's something to put on Bayley's mantle. And I think it makes sense. I think it sets up a lot of things with Damage Control because they can kind of play it off like she's going to Rhea Ripley until she changes her mind. So give me Bayley as well.
All right. We're going to probably agree.
On the men's as well, you think? All right. Well, there's 11 of 30 entries have been announced for this. We have Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Kofi Kingston, and Damian Priest. So Nestlemania, I'm looking at this. 10 of those superstars are from Monday Night Raw. Only one is from SmackDown, and that is Bobby Lashley. So this is going to be a red heavy Royal Rumble. Obviously, we know who the contenders are. It's Cody and Punk. Dark horses, fucking McIntyre or Gunther, and then off the board with fucking dickhead, rhymes with fucking rock chalk, not Kansas though, the fucking big rock. So Nestlemania, I think the obvious pick is CM Punk because we think he's challenging for the world title. If not, it has to be probably Cody or Rock. Maybe Gunther's a dark horse if they somehow go in that direction, or maybe if you think he's gonna like someone else will be champion or they're changing. But Nestlemania, do I go with mind? Or do I go with heart? Well, I don't want to have a nightmare, so I'm going to go with my heart. Give me Cody Rhodes, back to back, gets it done, goes on the main event WrestleMania. If he wins the Rumble, he can't be cocked by the motherfucking Rock because that World Heavyweight title, there ain't no story in that, baby. The story is in the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. The rematch, part 2. Cody Roman. Give me Cody Rhodes winning the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble.
It's part duh, not ruh.
I said duh.
Well, it didn't sound like that on my end.
Yeah, because you're wearing fucking earmuffs.
I'm wearing cans. I'm gonna pick CM Punk because it just seems the more logical choice. And to be honest, I'm trying to protect my lead as I'm trying to win predictions this year for the second time. I think maybe third.
Nestle's in prevent defense mode, which means that's when JC is gonna strike. I'm like the Viper.
Well, you know what? You know what'll fuck us all up is fucking Revolution. That we hands down is like 13 fucking matches.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I'm way better at picking AW matches.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What would the fan book? Tony Khan. He is the fan. So it's he has thrown me more curveballs recently, but WWE, I tend to this guy right here. Right where the logo's over.
The ticker. Yeah. There's got to be one more match though. Like it just seems like
I feel like that's why I thought maybe there'll be a women's tag, which I guess they could still set it up on Friday, which would be kind of lazy, but it is because when I saw the US title match and I'm like, huh, interesting. But I figured there'd be no Seth. So I'm like, maybe Rhea Rio, but their other challengers are in the Rumble. So
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough, but we'll enjoy it either way. So
they could have done like Carlito and Santos there. You know what? Maybe they do Final Testament versus the Bobby Boys at the Rumble.
There you go.
Bobby's in the Rumble though, so maybe not.
Oh yeah, that's true. Anyway, I think we've talked long enough. We've gone over an hour and a half.
Holy shit, yeah, we have.
That's a long
Rumble, baby. People want the content this week. They got to get to Saturday. It's only Tuesday. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4 days before we start tossing people over the ropes. Bang, bang, scissor gang.
On that note, thank you for listening to the Jobber Knocker. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.